Hello everyone, my name is Edward Amwakun and I welcome you to another insightful video of our Photoshop online class. So in this video, I'm going to walk us through on how the interface of Photoshop looks like and to understand and navigate through Photoshop. And Photoshop version that I'm using is 2021. So if you are using 2019 or any other version, you will also follow. I think they all have the same interface. So when you open to Photoshop for the first time, which is 2021, 2025 or any other version, you are going to see something like this. So or drag and drop a file, okay, or select from your computer, which we are not going to do that for now. So what you see basically over here is the home screen. Now in the home screen on your right corner, just as we all know, we have the close button, minimum, and then the rest, okay, and the maximum. And then also we have the menu bars, which we will talk about later. And then we have the Photoshop icon, which is the home. So once you click on this PS here, it will take you to your workspace. So this is called a workspace. And then you have the home icon here. Click on it and it will take you back to the home screen. So we have the workspace and home screen. Let me take it once again. The PS will take you to the workspace. This is where you are going to work. This is where you are going to do your design. And then when you click back the home button, it will take you to home. This is the home screen or the home space or anyhow you call it. And then in the home, we have create new and open file. Create new simply means that you are creating a new document. Let's say you are going to design social media or a funeral poster. And then you come to the create new, which means that you are starting the new project. With that of the open, it means that you have an existing file that you want to open or edit. Let's say you have a picture and you want to edit it, or you have an existing file like PDF and you want to work on it. That is where you have to come and then use the open. So once you click on the open, it will take you to where you've stored that particular project. For example, I have a book cover. So if I want to work on this, I click on it and I will open it. All right, that is it. And then if you have an existing PSD2 and you want to work on, you use that open. But with that of the create new, when you click on, this is new document. So you are starting a new project where you have to come to here and select the size that you want to work on and the rest, which I will talk about in the next video. So for now, I want you to understand that in Photoshop, we have the home screen. Click on the PS. This is your workspace. I hope you are there. So let's move on to the next video to talk about how to open or create a new file, or how to create a new document, or how to open a new document, like you are starting a new work or a new project. How do you do it? Where we are now is your home screen or your home page. Now in the home page, I said we have the menu bar that you see, the file, the edit, and then the rest. Then we have the Photoshop homes or the workspace. Once you click, it will take you to the Photoshop, and that is not what we are looking at. We are looking at how to create a new document. So we have two ways of creating a new document. It's either you use the file up here, or you come and click on create new. They all function the same. Or you can use the shortcut Control N on the right that you say. All right, so let's come to create new, and you see your new document tab open. Now here you come and change, or over here come to your right side. So the left side that my mouse is just going around, you can see I'm on recent currently. You can move on to save, photos, print. Now you can just move through just to learn more for yourself. Now with the print, it has the A size, A4 size, A3 size, A5, A6, and then the likes, depending on the particular project that you are working on. But in this case, we are going to learn how to create social media designs, that is flyers. So I'll go to recent, and on my right, that is where I am coming to do my settings. So the first one is the name of your work. So imagine I'm designing a poster, so I will name it as church poster, or a poster for church. So church poster, depending on the project that you are working on. And the Photoshop has measurement, or what we call units. So the units are in pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, and Pascal. Photoshop doesn't work with feet. So if you want to work in feet, please convert it to inches, and then you can use it. Then let's move on. So in this case, we will set our measurement or the unit to pesos. You can set it to inches, but we want pesos, so we want pesos. Then with the pesos, we are changing the width to 1080. That is social media size. And then the height is the same thing, 1080. On the right, you see orientation and then artboards, which I will talk about later. But for now, do not worry so much. Focus on what I'm teaching you. Now, the resolution, change it to 300. Why am I saying so? Now, you see that there are certain flyers that you see on social media which looks very blurred. So if you want your work to be sharp, you want the resolution to be high, please leave it to 300. If you want more, you can go, but the more the resolution, the more your computer slows. If you have big space or big RAM, you can do so. Okay, but for social media, the resolution, please set it to 300. And then let's move on to the color mode. The color mode, we have a lot of them. We have the RGB, we have PixMat, we have Grayscale, CMYK, and then the rest. But in this video, we are going to focus on two now, which is the RGB and the CMYK. Now, what is the difference between the RGB? RGB simply means red, green, and blue. And this mode, or this particular color mode, is very good for digital printing. It is very good for digitals. On phone or social media, you are not printing it. So let's say if the church asks for a design that they are going to use mainly for social media, make sure you set the color mode to RGB, because in this particular color mode, the design will look so beautiful. If you are designing for them to print, change the color mode to CMYK. Why? CMYK colors are very good when it comes to printing. Like all printers use CMYK because the CMYK colors looks good when they are printed out. It looks good now. But in this case, we are doing it for social media, so our color mode will be on RGB. Apart from that, any other thing, leave the background white, the color profile and everything, leave it like that. So the one that I want us to focus on is preset details, which is the name, the unit, the height and weight, which is 1080 color mode, and then the resolution. Once you are done with everything, go ahead and click on create. How your workspace look like. On the workspace, don't forget that I told you in our previous video that this particular screen that you see is your workspace. This is your office. This is where the whole design that we are going to do, whatever that we are going to do, takes place. Okay, now there are 6 main things that I want you to note when it comes to your workspace. Whatever that you see here, I have divided it into 6 main parts, which I'm going to walk you through. Number 1 is your menu bar. That is the main thing that you have to note. The menu bar consists of the file, the edit, image, up to the help, and that is very, very important. It also comprises of the close, the minimum, or the restore buttons. But entirely, it talks about the file, the edit, and each of them has its own function, which as we are moving on, I'll be explaining and we'll be using them so you'll get to understand them better. That is number 1. Number 2 is the option bar. So the option bar consists of the auto file or the auto select, show transform control. Whatever that you see here is the option bar. Number 3 is the toolbar. The toolbar is on the left that you see. We have the first tool, which is the move tool, up to the last tool, or whatever there is, the last tool, that is the zoom tool. There are a lot of tools in Photoshop, but in this particular 7 days, we'll be using the major ones or the essential ones, and you will get to understand very well. That is number 3. Number 4 is the status bar. And down here, this is the status bar, and on the status bar you see the measurement, which is 180 pixels by 180. It is giving us the 300 to be the resolution, and then the 66.67 is the zoom. You can also zoom in and zoom out using the shortcut on your keyboard, Ctrl+. That is the zoom in. Zoom out is Ctrl-. So once you zoom out, you could see from your status bar that it is 100%. You can also press on Ctrl 0 then to zoom to fit. Control 0 means zoom to fit. That is it. So we have the menu, option, and toolbars, and then we have the status bar. The status bar, the status bar. Then from the status bar, we move on to the panels. All this space is the panels. And under panels, we have a lot. We have layers, we have channels, path, properties, adjustment, libraries, gradient. Everything that you see here, they are called panels. And then the last one is your canvas. The white that you see, the paper, the size that you see is called a canvas. Canvas simply means that is where the entire work or your project is going to take place. That is the canvas. So these are the 6 main things that I want you to note when it comes to your workspace. Let me walk you through. Number 1 is the menu. Number 2 is the option. Number 3, toolbars. Number 4, the status bar. Number 5 is the panels. And number 6, the canvas. Please note. Now with the canvas over here, you can decide to change the color if you don't want the dark. Just come to this space, not the white, but the darker one, and then right click. You can set it to default. You can change it to black. You can change it to gray. You can change it to medium gray. You can change it to light or custom. Now, when you change it to custom, or you can change it to select a custom color, here you can decide to pick any color of your choice. Click OK. Then you choose. But mostly, I don't want you to waste my time. Just leave it to default. I just wanted to show you something. Okay, so how do I set my workspace? Now, once you have selected the first tool, which is the move tool, always make sure that you select that move tool and go to the option bar where you see the auto select ticked. Go to show transform control. I will explain why you are supposed to tick if yours is not. Even the auto select, make sure you've ticked the two, auto select and show transform controls, and then come to the panels. The panels, we don't need some of them, but what we are going to use more is what I'm going to show you. So we are setting the workspace. So come to the upper here, click on this. You see the workspace there. We have essential, 3D, a lot of them, but we are working using essentials. Select it. We don't need this particular color. So you see these two icons. It says collapse icon. Click it. We don't need it. And this is history panel. Click and drag it under the path. You see this blue line there. When it highlights, it means you are supposed to leave it there, or you can leave it there. Okay, so that everything will line up. We need to set our workspace neat so that doing our design will be so easy for us. Come to the layers, because Photoshop uses layers a lot. That is why I want you to set your workspace very well so that the layers will show. Click on the layers, drag it and bring it somewhere closer to the panel here. So you see this blue line, longer one. So once you see it, you are supposed to leave it. Very good. So you see the layers line up. So if the layers are more, you see them lining up longer. So it makes it easy for you to edit any layer that if you want to work on. Okay, so please watch the video again and make sure that you are on this path. Good. And then the last one that I want you to also bring on is come to the window. That is the menu bar. When you click on the window, we have workspace. So I said that the workspace that we are currently working on is the essential. That is the default one. And then also go to your character. We have a lot of them. We have brushes, brush settings, the property, the layers is already there. That's why it is ticked. We have the option bar, which is there. We have the toolbar, and then now we are currently working on this particular project, which is church poster. But what I want you to bring in is the character. This one. Click on, and the character will pop up. You can now, don't click on the character here or the paragraph. Click on this empty space. Okay, so click it and drag it and bring it under the history. Okay, so whatever that we need is here. We need properties to work a lot. We will need character and paragraph, and I will explain why I want you to set your design or workspace like this. So once you set your workspace like this, you can name it. You can name the workspace. So go up here. This is where your workspace is. Click on, and you can name it, the workspace. Select it and name it as maybe your name. Click on save. Now I have saved this particular workspace. Now let's go back and go to reset. If you go to reset Edward, it means that I'm deleting it totally. Okay, so let's select any other workspace like painting. So if you see painting, it comes with different layer settings. So go back again and select my Edward. Now I'm back to my workspace. So workspace is very important. It makes you know what exactly you are looking for. And anybody at all who will come to Photoshop and you don't see this particular settings, it doesn't mean the person doesn't know. It is how the person wants the workspace to be. Just like your office, where you want to put your table or how you want to arrange your things might be different from how else will arrange his or her things in his or her office. That is it. So let's move on to how the tool bar works. Now, I've explained the meaning of status bar. Which one? So for you to zoom your canvas, you can press on Ctrl minus to zoom out, Ctrl minus to zoom. So if it is not working, just come and select your move tool and then press on Ctrl minus to zoom out, Ctrl plus to zoom in, Ctrl 0 to zoom to fit, Ctrl minus to zoom out, Ctrl plus and Ctrl 0 to zoom to fit. Good. Then the first tool is move tool, which when you right click, it has subtools inside. And all the tools, when you right click, they all have subtools inside, which time may not permit us to talk about all of them. Okay, so let's talk about the move tool, because that should be your home. The move tool should be your friend. Whatever that you do, make sure that you don't go away from the move tool. Okay, so let's move on to the shape tool, because that is the ultimate. We'll be using a lot. Select your shape tool. Once you select your shape tool or you right click it, either you want to write rectangle, square, you want to write circle, you want to draw a circle, triangle, I'll be showing you how to use it. So select the rectangular shape tool and come to your status bar. You see the fill color, it is black. Click if you want to change that color. Come to this box that you see here, click on, we call it color picker. Now choose the color that you want. You can choose black, you can choose red, any color. Now this bar, this long bar is where all the colors are. Currently the long bar is at the bottom here. That is why you see the red color. If I want to choose blue, that means bring your mouse closer to where the blue is. And then this is the color. You see it is written new. The current one is the black one, but which we don't want. So if I want blue or deep blue, I will select it. If I'm okay with the blue, go ahead and click OK. If I don't want it and I want something like this, I will just play along with it. And then I'll go and select OK, which means I have picked it. And then come to the stroke. The stroke is the borders, which I don't need it for now. So you could see that the moment I select this color, it has written here that recently used. So click on the stroke again and then come to this red bar. It says no color, we don't need the stroke. Click it and it will cancel. If you need a stroke, we'll talk about that later. So once you change your fill color, come and draw it. Now if you are drawing it on your canvas, please be very careful when you are drawing. So start to draw by clicking on it and drag. So as you are drawing, control it, know what exactly you want. If you are drawing a rectangle, know that it is rectangle that I want. So if you want it big, don't leave it to drag it, hold and drag like that. And then let's say I want it this way. Once you are done, you leave your mouse and it will draw it for you. Now once you are done drawing any shape, this particular panel, which is called the properties, will be popping a lot. Now I'll be telling you how you can customize shape. How do you customize shape? Now come to the appearance. You could see there is 4 corners here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what you use to customize the shape. You could see certain designs, it has some curved edges around the shape. So this is where it works. So if I want to curve this particular edge, especially this space where the mouse is in my canvas, come to here and then drag. So you could see that when I'm dragging, it is affecting on my canvas. It has affected all the 4 corners. Drag it back to 0. And if I want it to affect only one edge, click on this particular thumbnail that you see here. Click on it to untick and come and drag the first side. Okay, so you could see that it has only affected the right corner. So you can drag it back to 0. You can even put the number there. You can delete it and put 0 there. Then come to the left corner, drag it, you could see it has only affected this part as well. You can drag it back to 0. So this is how you customize shape. When you are done, make sure that you take this arrow, so that it means you don't need the property icon. If you need it, you click on it and then use it. Now if I want to move or bring this shape somewhere here or position it, don't forget, move tool is your home. Select the move tool before you can move it. If you are still on the shape tool like this, you cannot move it. You cannot. It will draw different or another shape for you, which we don't want it. So select the move tool. You can delete this. We don't need it. Delete it. And then now you can move it. Anytime you draw a shape, this property will be popping. So when it comes like that, you click it so that it will go. Okay, so I've drawn the first layer, which is the rectangular shape, which is here. So come to the layer side. Just as I said, Photoshop uses layers a lot. So the first one that we created was the background, which is the size, and then now I've drawn my rectangle, which you see here. You get it. Now let's draw in another shape. Okay, now if you want to also change, assuming you don't want this color, so come to the layer side and then come to the thumbnail, the box here that you see here, double click it, and your color picker is going to pop up. You can bring it somewhere here so that you will see it. Then choose the color that you want. You can choose any of these colors. Play along with it. You can just spend some quality time for yourself and you will learn a lot. If you're okay, click OK. That means I've changed the color. You get it. Photoshop is that easy. So let's position it somewhere here. If I want to draw another shape, now advice that I will give to everybody watching me right now. If you want to draw any other shape, do not select this rectangle and go and select your shape. Click on this, any of the edges, the empty space here. Click on and then come to your shape tool. Right click it, go for ellipse. Ellipse is basically for circle. So select it and then you can change the fill color to any color of your choice. Let's come here and change the color, and this time around let's go for green. Okay, something like this. Deep green is not bad. Okay, and then let's start to draw. Now if I want to get exact shape like circle, press on Shift on your keyboard before you draw. This will give me exact circle. Alright, now let me delete it. And let's say I don't select the ellipse. Okay, and then I click on this and to draw. You can see that I will not get the exact ellipse or circle that I want. I can get oval or something. That is why it's important for you to select or press on Shift. So delete this, then I don't need this. Now I'll press on Shift and start to draw. That is absolutely fine. Now you could see that if you look at my rectangle, you could see the shape, which is the ellipse and the circle, is the ellipse and the rectangle has become one. The reason is that whenever you are drawing another shape, do not select the ellipse, which is the rectangle. Do not select it. You can come and select your background, okay, and draw your ellipse. Please do not select it. If you select the rectangle and draw, it will assume as one shape, just as you see here. So undo it, select your background, press on Shift, and then you draw the circle, which is the ellipse. That is absolutely fine. Just as I said, you can click on this thumbnail, double click to pick different color of your choice. Have you seen it? So come and select your move tool before you can move around. So the move tool is your friend. You can do the same thing to other shapes as well. You can customize shape, polygon. Now with the polygonal tool, when you select, come to the option bar here. You can see that you have 5. If you want polygonal number size to be 4, you can select. If you want 6, you can choose. If you want 5, you can choose. But just as I said, anytime you are drawing a shape, make sure you don't select a shape or it will assume as one. Select your background and press on Shift to draw your polygon. You are good to go. Now click here. You don't need it. Double click this. I've told you how to change the color. That is fine. Select the rectangle again, and then this time around let's draw triangle. Press on shift, draw your rectangle. Very neat. Go and select your move tool, and you can even enlarge it. All right, don't be on the shape tool and try to enlarge it. It won't work. So we don't need this. Click this, double click on the, select the triangle, double click and change it to, yeah, I think this color is not bad. You see, so these 4 shapes alone, if you are able to draw this, you are on your way to becoming a good designer. Okay, a good designer. Now you could see that the triangle, you could see my layers being arranged here. The triangle is at the bottom. So when I bring it here, you can see that the triangle is at the bottom of all the shapes. I can bring the triangle on top. Okay, just come to the layer side, move it up. So the line that you see here is on top. Now and then move the triangle. You can see the triangle is on top of all the layers. Have you seen how it works? The same way, if I want to bring the ellipse, you can see the ellipse is under the first rectangular tool. It's also on top of the polygonal tool, but it is under the triangular tool. Okay, so I can bring the ellipse on top. You see that it is on top of all the, so this is called arrangement of layers. So Photoshop uses layers a lot. So now we can delete all these layers. All right, you can select all of them. So for you to select all the layers, come to the, so you've selected the ellipse, come to the layer side, not the canvas, no, the layer side that I'm talking about. Press on Control, select the rectangular, select the triangle, polygon. So we've selected all the shapes, and this is the panel settings. Down here we have group, and then we also have another, you see, create a new layer. That is not what we are looking for. We want to group these particular layers. You can group a layer so that it will become one. So once you've selected all the layers, press on Ctrl Gen. Ctrl Gen means group. Ctrl Gen, I've grouped all the layers. So you can rename it, double click and name it as shapes. Now the reason why we group layers is that so that the layers won't be packed in my layer panel. No. So you can just click on this eye so that you hide it. You can open it. You get it. You can also lock it so that on the canvas it is not moved. Although it is there, but you've locked it. You can hide it. This is also, so layers, play along, learn a lot, and you are good to go. Now in my text tool, you see the text tool is the T here. These are the 3 things: move tool, shape tool, and text tool. We are going to use them a lot. So select your text tool. When you right click it, it has horizontal, vertical, but the one that we are going to use is the horizontal. It also has the option bar displayed for you. Now this is my font. So I'm going to give you fonts for you to download or for you to install on your Photoshop. Okay, so let's select any font at all. All right, any font that you see, select it. And any font that you choose, we have types of fonts which I'll talk about tomorrow, or we talk about Friday. So select your the regular, we have bold and the rest. Font comes with different types, so I'll have time to explain them. Okay, this is the size of the font. If I want the font to be size 30, I'll select it. And don't come to the sharp, just leave it so. And this is the alignment that I was talking about the last time. We have alignment to the left, alignment to the center, alignment to the left, to the right, but we want alignment to the right. This is the color. Choose, click on the black, and you can choose any color that you want. Okay, so if I want this color brown, we'll select it. Okay, and this is the character. Already we brought the character down here. That's why I asked you to bring the or activate the character. And once you are done with all these settings, you can go ahead and type Photoshop. So once you are done typing, come here and click on this check mark. Photoshop will discipline you a lot if you don't pay attention to instructions. So click on the tick mark. It means that you have accepted what you've done. Still, you are on your shape tool, so you cannot move this text. Go and select your move tool. So any tool that you select and you are done using it, go back and select your move tool before you can move it around. Now let's try to edit this particular text. Come to the character, click on the character and now you can even change the color if you don't want. There's no need for me to be going back to the text tool. So yes, it's okay. Now if I want to make it light, just select it light. If I want to make it bold, dependent, some fonts comes with only bold, some also comes with only regular. That is all. The size, you can also resize it to 24 depending on how you want. You can now move it around. And then also we have this AA here. The AA is basically, let me continue. So let's say Photoshop 2021. Okay, so you can see that I've aligned it at the left. That is why you see me writing from the left. Then you can also align it at the center. How do we do that? Select everything here, come to the center and align it, or align it at the right. So let's align it at the left. That's the most important thing. And then click on your check mark. Now this AA that you see is basically for how you want the spaces in between the Photoshop and 2021. So if I want the spaces to be big, I will select it. If I want it to get close, which is auto, that is the normal one. The size you already know. Now the VA is for the spacing of the text. So I can select let me select -50, which will close it up. If you select 100, it will open. The spaces will be in between, but I mean, always set it to 0. It depends on what you are doing and want to close it up. That is fine. And then also we have these settings. This is italic. All right, we have this is for capital letters. So if you are texting in small letters, so let's text in small letters, and then you see Photoshop 2021. Okay, so select the check mark. After the check mark, do not forget, then select the TT. You can see that the text has changed from capital small letters to capital, and then this is uppercase. Okay, that is if you are typing something and you want it to be, for example, date, for instance, you can use this particular. So if you want to underline, if you want to cancel, so these are few things under the character that I want you to activate. So that is it. So you being able to go through, sometimes time may not permit me to be explaining everything. Just have time for yourself and make sure that watch the video very well. And I believe that before Sunday we begin our great practical work or the practical assignments, I mean, you'll be able to be familiar. And go through my channels. There are videos of me teaching on design. Try, even if you have not started, try. And before we start, you get to learn a lot. Now, after you are done, let's say this is my final work. I'm done designing and I want to save the work and send it to the client. I want to save it in a picture form, save it. How you save your work, it's important. So come to File and go to Save a Copy. You can also use the export to save it, but for now, let's go to Save a Copy. Click on that and this is going to pop up. You have to direct where you want to save your work. You can see currently it is on Documents. I don't want document. Let's say I want to save it to desktop. Select desktop. I've already named my project work to be church poster. And then look at the save as type. It is on PSD, PDDPST. Okay, this is the original work. So let's say because of time, I'm in a hurry to go somewhere, you can save your work in this format. Now later you can come and continue your work. That is the PSD. If you don't want it and you want picture form, click on it and there are options that you can change. So this is the JPEG, that is in the picture form. Check it well. JPEG, JPG. This is the picture format. So click on, you've selected, and let's save it to desktop. Click on save. Now once you click on save, this is going to pop up the option. Change the quality to 12 all the time. Make sure the format is on baseline standard, not any of them, baseline standard, and click on OK. Within some few minutes you've saved your work. So let's go back to desktop and have a look at it. This is it. So you see the church poster. Let's open it. Double click to open and have a look at what we did. Okay, so let me open it. So you see this is the picture format that we saved. If you don't want the picture format and you want PSD, the same process, go to save a copy and you can leave it as PSD. Maybe you want to come and continue later. You can also save it in a form of PDF, that is absolutely fine. So it is important for you to know the format that you are saving your work, and that will help you. Okay, so I think at this venture, this is where I will end. If you have any other question, don't hesitate to DM me, and I'll be very glad to assist you or to walk you through. If there are anything that I would want you to know, you will get to know them as at when we move forward. Thank you so much, and stay glued to the channel. Bye.